What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. As always, I'm joined by my two friends. First off, nice posture. To my right, Mr. Matt Welty. You sitting up a little?
I'm trying to make up for, I guess, the abundance of back issues.
I was going to say that. Him and I have lower back issues. Your posture, I can learn a thing or two from you. To my left, fresh off out of the country. I'm okay saying it because he geotagged a bunch.
Fresh off a birthday?
I was going to say that, but you stepped on it, but that's okay. Fresh off his birthday. Fresh off traveling in the new Emilio's Bellotto.
You see the logo
merch.
on the hoodie.
We see the logo. I saw Mubi in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brendan Dunne, welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back. How was the birthday?
Welcome back. You know, I wish my posture was a little bit better.
I know.
I wish someday someone would say you had kids.
Maybe you and I go to the chiropractor together?
Yeah, let's
All
set
right,
that
join
up.
appointment?
Deadlifts and strengthen your posterior chain.
Oh, here he goes.
Right
here he
back
goes. CrossFit
to the
Jesus.
gym.
Nothing like functional movement to straighten up your
I've
spine.
been doing some.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
You
look
lifted your arm up
online.
there. Yeah,
I look
okay.
online and I know I'm doing it wrong, but it just is. It's like the trying is the first step.
Definitely.
How we doing? You wiping your eyes? You're a
First
little
step
tired?
toward
Jet
failure.
lag?
No, I feel great about the jet
Okay.
lag.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to just power through it today.
Yep.
We're right back in the zone. It feels like we've been gone a while. We took last week off, a little holiday, dark week. I assume everybody listening went back and listened to some old episodes in the downtime.
Yep.
We are here.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hope you had a good one.
Yeah, it was nice. I was all over London. I was in East London. I was in Wimbledon. I was with Magdi.
Just waving.
Carboot Chronicles.
We put the video in.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, I hope people recognize the greatness because if you don't stay with the videos, you
on my Instagram,
yeah,
right?
You didn't notice
the post.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't notice that you were waving.
I think the bigger revelation is that for the viewers of the show or viewers of Full Size Run, know that Brendan Dunne intentionally avoids Ame Leon Dor because of a direct quote of the store employees not putting enough respect on his.
He had to go out of the country for it. We got glowing reviews.
But apparently you went to
ALD in Soho in London. It was beautiful. Got a lot of love out there. We got a lot of love all over London. I got to tell you guys that. East London, you know, you might see me in Bow. You might see me sipping a Rubicon in Shoreditch. You know,
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of fans. We might have to go out there and do a podcast. Can we do a podcast at the End Clothing Store in
Sure.
Soho or something, or
course.
ALD or Foot Patrol or something?
You put the Be a J. Cole song on? Did you?
What is? I don't know what that
It's
is.
called London. It's a
Oh,
banger.
excuse me. Yeah.
Absolute
Meet me
banger.
at the London. That one?
Huh?
Travis Scott's on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hey,
I'm
listen,
sorry.
His music is a little rusty. He's a little jet lagged. That's okay though. Okay.
I wish I'm not gonna really bog it down, but
Oh, you're thinking of the London, the hotel.
Yeah.
Meet me at the London.
yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that it?
Same name, totally different concepts, but that's okay.
Please forgive me.
it's all good.
I don't want to bog this thing down with too much of my travel talk, but I had such a good time, and I'm so appreciative of everybody I spent time with out there. We mentioned Mubi, Magdi, you know, slamming kicks. We got to get Magdi on here to talk some of his stories. Mitch and my boy Rami, and just everybody who was out and about who said hi.
We're just you said we have to get them all on the show. We're gonna have like 15 people.
Yeah.
We need to get all them.
Didn't make it to the F1.
That's all right.
Made it to Wimbledon though.
Okay.
So we enjoyed some cultural activities.
And our colleague here had a great weekend. You were at Michael Rubin's white party. No?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, I thought I saw you at Michael Rubin's white party in the Hamptons. No?
No.
Okay.
How was your fourth, Welty?
It was just like kind of low key
Grilling?
ish. No, I did.
You didn't spin any kebabs?
No.
Bro, I ate so much kebab in London.
Did you?
I ate so much meat.
Yeah.
Oof. By the fourth day, my body was screaming for some salad. I won't go into any more detail than that.
Yeah, let's just.
Sorry. Go on. Carry on, my friend.
No, I didn't have a super eventful.
Did you light off fireworks?
No fireworks.
What was your fireworks situation as a kid? You like the snakes?
Like that?
No, the little snake. It's just like a little puck.
That's like the one that
It's a
like
little
goes
black
off on
puck,
the ground.
and you just light it up,
It's like
and
the
it
black cats.
uncoils. Yeah.
Do you light fireworks? Did you guys ever light the fireworks?
Yeah. I had a lot of good memories throwing fireworks in the lake. You know, letting the firecrackers go off underwater and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was always. You mentioned my birthday is the day before the 4th of July, so those things were always very closely tied to me, and we would go to a couple different fireworks shows every year.
I think we
Nice.
had crazier fireworks experiences, like not as like a kid, but like a little bit older.
Oh yeah, dude. As a
'cause
teenager, we got reckless with the fireworks.
In New Hampshire, it's like one of the states where like fireworks are legal. So you can. There's like where we lived. It was like there was like right on the border, so it was like there was a bunch of fireworks like stands or whatever.
Did you always have them on deck?
I didn't. My friends did. So we used to go to. My friend used to live on the beach. We'd go down there, and I think like one year it was like pretty crazy. We took like a M80.
I knew what M80 was coming. I
Put
knew
an
what M80 was coming.
M80 into like a cast iron pot.
Oh, this sounds so dangerous.
It could have been a bomb, but it
Wow.
just shot. We just wanted to see how high it could shoot it in the air. Luckily, there was like no shrapnel.
Okay. Might qualify as an act of terrorism, but I'm happy you're safe.
I'll do the sparkler.
Yeah, you're a sparkler guy?
Yeah, that's the level of fireworks.
When we were in high school, there were plenty of times where we just had fireworks mortars in the car, and we would drive around town and just chuck them out the car, or like put firecrackers in a pile of dog shit and see what would happen.
Wow.
things of that nature. Things you do in a small town to stay busy.
A lot of fireworks situations go into like Red Bull games, like because usually you always
Oh, yeah.
literally and
Oh, yeah.
figuratively
Yeah,
fireworks.
I mean it was
right?
always like flares normally, right? But then like sometimes people would just be like total like big like jerk off moves and like just bring in like a box of like Roman candles or
To a soccer match. How do you bring those in?
no, not to the game itself, but like
To
on the way
procession, yeah.
on the way to the going there. Yeah, just like shooting Roman candles off like in the
Did you ever have a close encounter with a firework, Joe? Did
I don't
you almost
go-
blow a finger off or
I don't
anything
go
like
near
that?
that. I don't go near that.
Not even as a child? Not even
No.
as a teen?
No, I don't go. I stay very far away. Look from afar.
Take in the majesty.
Yeah,
I was disappointed I missed it last night because like obviously the official like 4th of July celebration was yesterday.
Yeah.
And then to me it was just like, oh, we have to shoot this today. I don't want to like go out to the late night fireworks display in Jersey City, but they had Jersey City representative Shaq did like a DJ set.
I think I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Siraj posted on his
downtown
IG
Jersey City,
stories.
yeah.
That's where I
Siraj
saw
was
it.
there?
That's where I saw it. He posted
Oh.
on his IG stories.
I wish I had gone to see that, but
That would have been cool.
Called it an early night, all for the sake of the podcast.
Appreciate that.
Can I mention another bit of traveling I did?
Yep.
I was in Mexico City and I saw
Oh yeah.
firsthand in real life for the first time the mural that features all of us at the sneaker store Stush in Mexico City. Stush? I don't know.
What was it like?
Incredible.
Where do you rank it in terms of you've been to art galleries and museums? Talk about some classic art pieces that you've seen.
Wow.
And put it there.
It's quite near the top, I have to say. Yeah. And thank you to everybody who held me down.
Did
out
that
there, too,
podcast come out
Sawi,
yet?
I think the podcast that I did there will come out soon. But I appreciate all the hospitality down in Mexico City as well.
And it's in English?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know because you've had your bilingual like
Yeah, I speak
excursions.
Spanish okay, but
Yeah.
not. I didn't feel like I should do a whole sneakers podcast in Spanish. And everybody in Mexico wants to know when the whole group is coming. So that's another one we might have to set up.
I was just in Mexico.
You didn't go to Mexico City for the?
No, I was in a different part of Mexico.
Okay.
So, but maybe soon. Not Cancun, no.
You probably spent some time in Cancun.
I've never been to Cancun.
That's a lie.
I swear.
Tulum.
I know what you're getting at. What, like spring break?
Yeah, you've been to
No,
Tulum.
I went to maybe. I think, I have. I went to
Yeah,
Panama
you have,
City
for
for
sure.
spring break. Panama City spring break.
What was that like?
A lot of Sean Paul being played.
You tried to reshoot the Big Pimpin' video? I know you had the cigar out, bro.
Had the Yukon bucket.
Oh, boy.
Let's get it out of the way. We should talk about what we all got added on yesterday.
With the real glizzy gladiator himself,
Joey Chestnut.
literally and figuratively.
Joey Chestnut again, Coney Island hot dog eating contest.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I know that we talk a lot about the hot dogs and the glizzies, but it's like
This was like the monumental.
no,
moment.
it's when I used to feel like I was a rollerblader and I had all the gear and I had the baggy jeans and I had the
He's
grind
trying
plates.
to loop in all of
Yes,
like the references.
get it out of the
all at
way.
once.
But listen, and I thought like, oh,
This is the finish line.
I could grind.
Rollerblading up the finish
No,
line.
I could grind like, I'm like a rollerblader. And then you would get around real rollerbladers and they were doing soul grinds. And I was like, nah.
Joe's like, I think I could.
We're not.
Joe's like, I could smash a glizzy.
And then
until
look,
I saw-
7. What did he
Yeah.
have? How many did he have?
So you saw the way Joey
Maybe
Chestnut
like
was eating
60
hot
hot
dogs, and
dogs.
you said, "I'm not really about this life in the way."
There's
that
just
I thought I
levels
was."
to it.
Yeah,
And he choked the guy out.
Yeah.
protester, right? A PETA
Yeah.
protester popped up,
And then he kept going.
fucking what an
And then we got
American hero.
added on
He, like,
every
the protester like jumped in front of him and he threw him in like a reverse
rear
choke.
naked choke.
Yeah, rear naked
that what you
choke.
call that?
Yeah, and then when he was in the choke, took
Rear
his,
naked choke means something different for me, but go on.
Okay.
and then
Come on.
chucks him to the side.
I have come to realize that no single piece of hot dog related content on the internet will pass us
I
by
know.
at this point.
I blame you guys.
If there what?
Yeah, I blame you guys.
You leaned into the glizzy thing
I
way
started
harder
a
than
little
we
bit.
did.
I started a little bit. You guys rode with it.
Are
and
you
now,
kidding me?
Now we're all the glizzy
The,
gladiators.
the best part about it
You
all.
rode with it with your rollerblades
You're-
on from fucking Long Island to
I did
34th
not
Street
ride.
and
I did not
back.
ride to a hot dog stand in rollerblades.
I mean, figuratively.
you're the one on the Instagram with the. Although I had some yesterday. So good.
you
So
just
I
said
accept
I blame
it.
you guys, and then you
I
fucking
accept
talk
it.
about the
I
hot dogs
accept
you
it.
eat in real
The
life.
best part about this is that we're gonna get like, there's gonna be like the regulars who tune in and are familiar with all this, but there's gonna be the people who are like, oh, the 10 best sneakers of the year list, and they're like all the casual, just like people who stumble across this,
timestamp
and
it.
they're like, why is there?
We'll timestamp
Does that
it.
happen? Are people in the YouTube comments sitting there being like, "Why the fuck are these guys
no,
talking
not
about
really.
hot dogs?"
No,
They know
especially
it now.
no, especially when it's a topic that's like, it's gonna get a little more eyeballs because
Yeah.
we're discussing, oh, the best sneaker of the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's gotten to a point. Then we'll get off this when it's like someone asks
will
us,
not
like,
get
"What do
off
you
this.
what do you think about this?" And it's like the hot dog in a milkshake. None of us
Glizzard?
reply. Yeah, none of us reply. And then 2 days later, they followed up, still waiting on the answer. Like, wow,
Like,
this is a
people
real
wanna
thing.
know.
Yeah.
People want to know our
Shouts to
opinions.
Joey Chestnut though.
Yeah.
Great performance.
He did his thing. Okay, for those people who came here expecting us to talk about shoes, there are a couple things to mention.
Yes.
We're seeing this set of Huff Dunks for the first time. Huff
Yes.
Nike SB Dunk Tribute with the Giants colorway. And we're seeing more on the eBay Nike SB Dunk Low as a Sandy Bodecker tribute. And I just want to put it out there and remind people that both of those things we leaked on Complex way before you saw the images.
Well, there's
of them.
multiple
This man.
colorways of the Huff Dunk. There's
Yes.
3 colorways, not just the Giants.
Yes, for sure. And you're a fan of them, if I recall correctly.
Big fan of them, although met with some weird,
Yeah, you
weird
got-
feedback,
you
and I
know,
wasn't
well-
gonna. I
well,
was,
he's called it weird feedback because it was discourse in the Slack.
and I was not going to let
Oh,
that
some
one.
of your coworkers
I was not
disagreed
going to
with
let
you?
that one slide.
You did though.
You were not going to let
I
that
didn't
one
see it
board
go-
slide?
No, I was not going to let that one slide.
Oh,
Dark
all right.
slide?
I saw you. You were behaved.
I was,
You like
I
the
was
shoes?
behaved,
You
but
gave one response. I
Yeah.
saw.
This was out while I was out, you know.
Yeah, I saw.
I was on the tube
Well-
at the time. I was
on
in
the
London.
tube.
he,
Now you're on
he
YouTube.
leaves himself.
What'd you say?
now you're on YouTube.
However, the tube to YouTube.
He leaves himself open because everything is the best or
Okay.
sucks.
Okay.
And
I didn't
then,
say that.
That's the scale
No,
you
you said
operate
the
on?
best dunk of the year easily.
Oh, one. I think I. Well, I don't
okay.
want to say exactly what I
Checking
said.
the receipts.
Sure, check it. Check it.
Okay. You were saying that Welty called the Huff
Best
SB
dunk of the year
Low
easily,
the
I
best
believe.
dunk of the year
Oh yeah,
easily.
for
What-
sure.
What? Yeah, that's what he said, and then
And then you were upset
and
because
he
some of our
got-
coworkers disagreed
yeah,
with
a couple
you.
jumped in on him.
I said
I was on vacation.
dunk of the year easy, and then
I was spilling Miranda sodas at Baron Jack.
But- boy.
But the
Can I
response
keep going?
the response was those are all terrible to me.
Who
which
said
is
that?
Oh wow.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach
And
would say
then Ben jumped in and said aligned. Although
aligned.
yeah,
Aligned.
which was like a really weird like way to just like I wasn't gonna let slide that a tribute to Keith Huffnagel are all awful sneakers, and that was gonna be the overall like
I
overwhelming.
think they were just talking aesthetically, not story though. right?
it's just like one of those things that
You felt like you had to set the tone.
yeah, it's like we're not gonna call a Keith Huffnagel sneaker as crap.
Yeah.
So it's just not gonna happen. So I'm just like, nope, it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Nope.
Okay, I guess.
Because sometimes things get said, you know, it's like things get said where it's like, I hate that shoe. Yeah, I agree. That shoe sucks. And then all of a sudden it's like something good sucks. It's like what we were talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. The other
You
day
got very animated. I
when we
love
were
this.
talking about like the best sneaker of the year's list, sometimes people just throw things out and then like someone else is like, yeah, check mark, I agree. And it's like, no. This isn't like how we're like, we're not gonna have a unanimous opinion that the Keith Huffnagel tribute dunks suck.
Yeah.
So you have to like do a little pushback on
But-
it.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, I do too. But they could be just talking about how it looks, not the tribute. I think you're coming at it from two different.
I think they're like, to me, it's like one and the same. I don't know.
I don't know, but isn't that two totally different things?
To say these are all terrible is just like a pretty blanket statement.
But he said to me, right?
Yeah, but still, it's like these are all terrible.
Listen, there are many times that I don't agree with Soul Collector managing editor's Act to Basic on sneakers. So I feel you on that. I feel you on that for sure.
I agree with him all the time. Just kidding. All right. He's back. Look, go ahead.
boy.
Take a sip.
Should we give away some sneakers? Are we about at that point?
Wow. 16 minutes went quick. We are at that point.
Let's do it like we always do every week. We give away a pair of sneakers with our good friends at eBay Sneakers. You can win a pair by going to ebay.complex.com, and you can submit a question to ask us. If we take your question, if we select it, and we answer it here on air, we are going to send you a free pair of sneakers courtesy of the good people at eBay. And it's only open to U.S. residents, so all my London massive, sorry, you can't. Sorry,
Are you going to start talking in like a Cockney accent?
You turned your back on them already. 2 days in the States. How dare you?
Yeah, only open to U.S. residents. Sorry, I have so many things I have to check off in terms of all my trips.
Okay.
What are we giving away today?
It is back here.
Yep.
Welty's got the sneakers behind him.
Speaking of dunks.
Speaking of dunks. Best dunks of the century, easily?
No.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding.
These to me, I would not be offended if someone doesn't like these.
Okay.
But I think that I always kind of wanted these, and I thought they had a cool story behind them.
Uh-huh.
So.
Big Bayshore.
Big
special
Bayshore
sauce
shoe?
For
Really?
sure. Yeah, people love
Break it up.
these.
Yeah.
Black
People
Black
love.
sneaker we're giving
For
away.
those you can't see, black box, Nike SB Dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got the high hair Nike SB Dunk low. I don't think that this one maybe is considered.
We can't call it a classic.
No.
No,
way.
I don't.
We
I
can't
don't
call
think-
it a great.
What I
I don't- I
like
don't-
about
I-
this, sorry.
Yeah, go.
What I like about this, it came in the midst of a bunch of classics. Like it came. I think if we look like right before it, and I think shortly
Supreme
after
SB
it,
Blazer was around that time.
yeah, this like was the era where there was bangers dropping, and then this one came, and I remember being like, oh, I'm not. Well, it's mostly white, so I was like, I'm not into that.
Oh,
but it was
rip.
like in the sandwiched in between classics, and then people in town were wearing it, and I, for whatever reason, beat it, and I think that like material rips off a little.
Oh,
I think so, and they look good, but it is from a definitely an era.
High hair Nike SB Dunk. I believe these were done in collaboration with NJ Skate Shop.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
High hair reference to the big hair era of 80s, 90s New Jersey.
Okay.
So I always just like the backstory behind it. That's why I thought it was a cool shoe.
Yeah.
NJ Skate Shop gone on to do a handful of other New Jersey's sort of themed Nike SBs.
Oh, really?
I
Like
know-
which?
Like the Toxic Avenger
Oh, wow. Okay.
dunks. I think there's a couple.
Can I see them? I don't want to ask you to throw them to me because
Don't
I know
throw
I'll
it.
drop
Don't
them. But
throw it.
this is an interesting sneaker because it was one I saw online a lot, but never in person.
Also,
I'm
it says
interested
you can see on the back, Brennan, another
Hair.
detail. It says high hair.
Yeah.
Actually, on the back of the shoe. It's one of those ones where it's like it came out in an era of good shoes and it kind of gets forgotten
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit
Definitely,
in the mix,
that's-
but not a bad shoe.
Okay. And who are we giving these away to today?
We are giving these away to Christian Profeta from San Diego. Christian asks, what's the shoe someone said this is definitely your style of shoe, but it definitely, all caps, wasn't, which happens a lot in the Slack. You'll
Okay,
say
this
big
is-
Zach shoe, big
let's-
JLP
let's
shoe.
just say this off the top, but I would love to get to the bottom of this here. Could you pass this shoe back to my friend Matt Welty? We have to figure out whether or not Welty is joking because we're gonna refer again to the Soul Collector at Complex Sneakers Slack channel where we debate footwear all
favorite
day
thing to
long.
say.
Yeah.
And it's a recurring meme in there where
Yeah.
Welty will pick out a seemingly random shoe
Yes.
and tag somebody and say, this is a big Zach shoe, or this is a big JLP shoe, or
Yes.
this is a big Brendan shoe.
Actually, not for the most part. That's the thing. And the funny
Not
part
what?
is
It's not a joke?
No, because most of the time the funny part is I'll say this is like a big Zach shoe because it's like
Yeah.
it will be like I'll see like some like early 2000s basketball shoe,
Mm-hmm.
and like the critique of it will always be, I don't like that shoe because
From Zach. Zach's response,
He's like
yeah.
he's like I always thought the arch on that shoe fit funny or something like that, and I'm like, oh, so it actually is a shoe that like was super from your era that you're familiar with, but there's this nitpicky detail that you don't like about it, which is the most like at Zach.
So it's not a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
It's not a bit.
No.
It is a bit.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit, but
It's
I'm
a
like,
bit, but it's not a joke. Important
yeah,
distinction.
It's like this might be, I guess my batting average or law of averages is low.
Well, I'm glad we know the funny part now.
Or it's from someone who can't be pinned
Pinned down. Yeah,
Yes.
Back to basic for sure. We love him so much. So I just wanted to reference that because that is so in line with this question in terms of people thinking a shoe is connected to you and you going, I never wore that. I don't care about that. That has nothing to do with me.
I feel like you're pretty good with me.
You smell like cigarettes.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't really.
Is that
have,
part of the Jersey theme?
That makes it even more New Jersey. These smell like cigarettes.
There we go.
I feel like with Zach, you say it a lot. Big Zach shoe, Big Ben shoe. But I think
Big
with
Ben?
me-
Big Ben.
Yeah, I think
You might see me in Westminster. Carry on. Carry
Oh,
on.
right.
You're talking
Another
about
London ref?
Roethlisberger.
What'd you say?
I thought you were talking about Roethlisberger.
Oh, no.
But I think for you, you're fairly
Talking
on
about
point
Big
with
Smoke.
me. And I
Oh,
also don't.
when Welty says big JLT
Yeah, I
shoe?
also don't really
Yeah.
have a good answer for this because I feel like
It'd be like some Comme des Garçons.
Yes,
or like
exactly.
something
Like
And
people
Joe
know
would be
this-
like, I already bought it on
people
eBay.
know the shoe DNA a little bit, and I
Yeah.
kind of stick. Yeah. Do you guys have good?
Shout out to Archive DNA. What up, Magdi? Sorry.
we go.
Yes, for me, any Tom Sachs shoe. Like I've said it multiple times that new Tom Sachs shoe, the
It's not
GPS
you?
shoe, I don't really like it, but I get tagged in it all day long.
Oh, that's a
And
good.
People just
relevant.
assume automatically. And then the other thing is just anytime there's a Reebok sneaker, any Reebok sneaker.
The
it's like-
Reebok thing's kind of you kind of past that. a little
yeah,
bit, right?
I feel like I've matured well beyond that point to where you don't need to notify Brendan Dunne every time a Reebok sneaker exists. You know?
just hot dogs.
exactly.
No,
I
any
want
hot
the
dog.
updates. Yeah.
Reeboks were off a little
Any
bit. Any
cylindrical
hot dogs?
beef I need to know. Yeah, for sure.
What
Welty.
Oh yeah, similar to what you're saying, it would always be like the time that like some random like Adidas skateboarding would do some like samba looking shoe, and I'm like, no, I don't like those. I would never wear them. But like people would always say like, oh, you would love that shoe, right? And I'm like, no, not really, not at all.
Or the other thing is, and I feel like you've kind of moved past this era too, is when people knew that you were really into Adidas's Spezial sneakers,
Yeah.
but they didn't know that you were into Spezial, the line, the collection,
yeah.
and not the Adidas sneaker called the
I
Spezial.
do like the shoe, the Adidas Spezial.
Sure, but that wasn't what the whole thing
that
was
wasn't
about.
the reference. It wasn't the reference point. Also, people lately hitting me up with like really bad New Balances, and I'm like, sorry, I don't like your 574s. I don't.
You like Larry June for Bodegas?
Oh, those are great.
574s?
Those are great. Larry
Okay.
June's been killing it lately too. He's wearing the Awake Asic Kayanos.
Not unlike myself.
Yes,
In
he wore 'em.
Mexico.
Yep.
Angelo, what
We
up?
need
Great
Angelo
shoe.
on the podcast, please.
Yeah. People thought I peed my pants in that photo.
I saw
didn't.
the comments.
I did it.
I know.
Don't you hate that when you
I
upload
mean,
an IG photo and there's something
you just
going
gotta
on
know
that you didn't notice?
sometimes different shades of denim, you know? When you're wearing the Buddy Lees, you know, sometimes in the light overseas.
Not the fucking
No.
Buddy Lees.
All right, so listen, Christian, getting the pair, Nike Dunk SB, high hair.
High hair.
All right, great. Listen, we're back. It's just us. Just us. We will have a guest next week.
That's right.
Good one.
That'll be a fun one.
And we wanted to do this list last week, but we were off. Perfect time, kind of middle of the year. A little late on it now, like what, a week later? Or we're still slap dab in the middle of the
You
year?
said slap dab
Yeah.
in the middle? And what does
Is that
mean?
even a word?
That's not.
Okay, we're still... what's the-
Smack dab?
Okay, we're still... I'm getting this
Slap
clean.
dab.
Wait, is that what you said?
No, that's what you said.
Oh, we're still
motherfucker.
smack dabbed in the middle of the year.
Smack dab, not smack dabbed. You
I gotta get
you hit
this
the dab
clean. Hold
on
on,
it
hold
once.
on.
No, you
Smack.
no, this is all staying in.
Okay. All right, so we're in the middle of the year officially.
What part of the year?
Smack dab.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I wish.
Wait, what was that?
The listeners. Welty
Wait,
just
why'd
gave
you
the
do that?
biggest visible
'Cause of him?
groan
Yeah.
and
What?
eye
Because he did the
roll.
dab.
Because he like did the dab and like held it for like
Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought.
I'm sorry, buddy.
10 seconds.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That'll ruin the podcast. That'll ruin the chemistry.
Wow,
That
imagine
I hope we had
the
it.
documentary. 10
Yeah,
years
that's
from
it,
now
the
about
moment.
when we
It
fell
just
apart. It was when, like
the freeze frame.
Brendan was hitting the dab for too long, and Welty was like, "This motherfucker
Exactly.
is too much."
Exactly. I thought someone walked in. I thought an op walked in.
I thought Mischief's creative director fucking strolled in the studio for a second. People listening, please go watch a YouTube video and try and
Wow.
catch Welty's visible disgust on his face when I was dabbing.
Okay, so
Smack dab in the middle.
yep, middle of the year, perfect time to do the top 10 best sneakers of 2022 so far. We put this list out. Let me just get the date, June 21st, 2022. So a couple weeks ago, but we're here to discuss it on the podcast. I looked at this list.
And should you give just a
It's not, go ahead.
no
disclaimer, right?
Not a disclaimer, but just so people know that this wasn't the list that we all, like the three of us came up with beforehand. This was
these lists are always a compilation of the opinions of everybody on the sneakers team. So in this case, Ben Felderstein, myself, Welty's on it, Mike DeStefano, Riley Jones, Act to Basic, Joe La Puma, all contributing to the list, and also trying to figure out how to make it an average of what we think are the good sneakers and also what our audience is attracted to and what they think are the good sneakers. So it's not totally prescriptive, it's not totally descriptive, but somewhere in between, trying to figure out the biggest shoes. Also, you know, we there's big projects that I personally wasn't a huge fan of that I feel like need to be referenced on a best sneakers of the year list and things like that. And there's, like Welty said, this isn't our personal, like my personal favorites of the year so far look way different from this, and there's a lot of these as a result that we're going to go through and we're going to say, I don't really like that shoe, and there's reason for that, because there's other people on the team who did like it, or there are things that the shoe achieved that we felt warranted its inclusion.
Yeah.
Any other disclaimers?
No.
So you covered it.
Thank you. I remember like last time we did it and I didn't like a shoe, and people were like, there's like people in the comments like, oh, if you don't like the shoes that are on the list, then maybe someone else should have your job. And I'm like, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
All right, let's kick it off. Number 10, Rick and Morty, Puma MB01.
Welty doesn't like the shoe.
This is the one I will say out of all the shoes on the list, makes me feel old.
Okay. Can you explain that?
Just, I guess, so this shoe I think was the most, I wouldn't say debated, but it kind of like got shoehorned in to like round out the 10 on the list. So there was some debate what the 10th shoe should be, you know, to like put a...
Which one was in the running besides this?
I think there was maybe like another shoe that we had discussed that didn't make the list that I think is a great shoe, but I didn't argue for it. That hard was the Jound 990 V3, which I personally think...
We didn't put any Jound New Balances on here, right?
I personally think the Jound is a better shoe, and it's just personal feelings. But the argument made for this one is that it did really well on Instagram.
I mean, that wasn't the sole argument, but I think for a lot of these...
That was one of the... I think that was one of the...
Real good on Instagram, meaning like likes and engagement?
Yeah.
Meaning like we use that partly as a tool. Again, this is about, to some extent, how our audience received these shoes. So if this shoe is so well received by our audience on social, and maybe if we don't particularly love it, I don't love it either, but then it's an indicator that, oh, this is a bigger shoe than we realize, you know, within our maybe you know, our like sub bubble of like you know, jaded old guy sneaker talk.
And to that point, you know, you said it makes you feel old. It is for LaMelo Ball, a 20-year-old NBA superstar. It is mismatched basketball sneakers, but as Ben mentioned in the blurb, it's reselling for like double the price, which isn't the end-all be-all. But I will say, coincidentally, I was in Toronto last week, and small detail, doesn't have to be in Toronto, but about to fall asleep, and I literally got a text from someone like, hey, my daughter has her birthday coming up. This is the only sneaker she wants. Do you have like any like leads on it? And it was this Rick and Morty LaMelo Ball sneaker. So the popularity, super, super popular. And I think what Ben wrote in the blurb, he kind of alluded to, like, you know, getting a Puma on the top 10 list doesn't always happen. So for this to land on the top 10, pretty significant sneaker.
Yeah, I think Puma doesn't have a lot of exciting products, so for them to have a moment like this, I think it's worth celebrating. Rick and Morty is a super relevant pop culture tie-in. You know, the colorway is loud enough to work. LaMelo Ball is a huge deal. Maybe not in my world, but yeah, I think there's lots of reasons why this shoe is interesting. And I think, to mention the Jound thing real quick, we're gonna reward sneakers that feel more new or novel in a way.
No, I totally. I'm not like trying to hear make an argument.
No,
like
for sure.
I just personally like the Jound shoe more, which
same. But I think that the Jound stuff at some point just feels like a formula applied again and again. And I think you could say that about some of these other ones. So that, I feel like that was part of our conversation and like bumping that.
It's just like, so like you mentioned like all those points, and like for me it's like, okay, it's a Puma shoe. I don't like Puma as a brand at all. Rick and Morty's a TV show that I'm like have never watched, like never going to watch. And then
Pickle
just
Rick?
Like, sorry, what? No.
Pickle Rick?
No, John Mayer.
Wait, what?
Oh,
like, yeah, right. John Mayer did a Pickle Rick Nike ID shoe?
Yeah. Although Extra Butter, shout out, did send me once a case of Rick and Morty pickle flavored seltzer.
Do you drink pickle juice as part of your workouts?
No, but I have drinking pickle juice in the past, and I'm a fan of it.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I just felt like that could be something that's part of your
No.
regular intake. What about
Also,
V8?
Eastern European hangover cure. But
I'm a big V8 drinker, or used to be in college.
Really?
but then like
V8?
and then just like
Didn't
maybe
you
not
like that?
like
The commercial V8 was
no like then like not like the biggest basketball shoe fan either. So
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So I put like all three of those things together, and it's just like like
Doesn't
For you
check any
personally,
boxes.
Yeah. But it's at number 10 on our best sneakers of the year so far list. Should we go to number 9?
Number 9, Joe Freshgoods New Balance 9060. One thing I would
shoe.
say about this, yeah, you really like this shoe. One, right?
Yeah. I think it's one of those, and I think I maybe said I don't know. Remember saying the blurb because I wrote like multiple of these things. Is that like I feel like it's a real love it or hate it
Okay.
model, right?
Are you on love it or hate it?
I am somewhere in the middle of the fence on this one. I don't hate the shoe at
Right.
all, so I don't want like that out there. But it definitely took some getting used to when I first saw it.
I think it's really refreshing to do this model when we've
Yeah.
seen so many of the same models
Yeah.
in the past
It's a
couple
tougher
years.
assignment, right?
Exactly. Tougher assignment. One thing I would say, didn't you like send a picture and be like, these look great here?
Yeah, and then
literally
people in the
picked
Slack told me no.
No, he literally, but you didn't do it any justice. You literally picked the worst picture to send.
You like the sole, right? Was that what it was?
I just thought in general. I thought the shoe looked good.
He picked the worst picture to send, but I'm just saying.
I need to find that because I put it here because I still stand
The
by.
picture,
I think it's a
it
great
didn't look
picture.
like it. It looks like so much better here. But I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, it didn't do it justice. But I do agree. Like we talked about, and I think you wrote follows a pretty reliable formula when it comes to its shoes. Keeps the model simple. 9060 breaks that mold
Yeah.
basically, and that's actually like again that's a challenge.
Yeah, another reward for doing something that's a little bit different.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of like the gender reveal colorway.
Okay.
It was like the pink and blue.
Yeah.
One. It's just like that color. I don't know. Something about that color combo just doesn't do it for me.
I feel like that's perfect for you. I feel like in the future when you have a child, you might do an unboxing of a pair of New Balances, and if it's a blue pair of New Balances,
This is literally the eBay question today.
oh yeah,
He thought
true,
that-
true.
yeah.
I just like the tan with like the brick on the other one. It
Sure,
just
sure,
does
sure.
it so much more for me than the like
Brick City.
yeah.
We should get into it real quick. Let's take a pause because you are wearing New Balances. What is everyone wearing?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
These are actually I think one of my personal favorite shoes of the year so
Nice
far.
looking sneaker.
Up there, New Balance, 2002. Actually, I was unaware that our good friend Thomas Lindy had done an IG post on this shoe.
He
and
works at New Balance.
No, he did.
Thomas Lindy
Oh,
works at Hannon.
Works at Hannon.
I'm sorry.
Also runs the New Balance, co-runner of the New Balance gallery
Forgive me.
account. But he had said the reason why the collaboration made sense is that Up There had actually done a New Balance 99X museum in Australia.
Okay.
And then they got their own collaboration after doing a museum for the brand's history. So I'm like, oh, nice little,
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
yeah. But love these shoes.
Sorry. Nice sneaker. Joe, what you
I'm
got?
doing Lorenzo G Raisin Air Max 95 CDG.
Nice one.
These kind of replace the white and black CDG. I've been wearing these, and I like these because even though they're dyed and they're like a little kind of like they're a bespoke essentially, you could like rough them up a little.
Oh,
so.
can we clarify? Because I know someone said it. His name's Lorenzo, but it's not Lorenz.
No, but his Instagram's Lorenzo G.
Well, I think we've referred to him as Lorenz multiple times on the show.
Yeah, you might be right.
Oh,
But
sorry.
his name's
His name is what?
Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good to have that sorted. I'm wearing a pair of Nike Dunk Highs that I've worn probably a couple times already. I think it's supposed to rain today, so I wanted to bring the beaters out.
Okay.
09, I think, vintage St. John's.
You
White
didn't
and
meet
red.
up with you didn't meet
I
up
remember. I have the photographic memory. I remember you took a picture on a bridge with those, right?
I love that, Joe.
Yeah, I remember
Remembering
because they
every
look
single
good.
fit I ever put
I
together.
remember. I have the photographic memory.
Thank you for that. Should we
welcome.
get back into this list?
Yeah, because the next one, I don't know. This would have been a little lower or higher. I always get that mixed up. Lower.
You think this should be higher up on the list?
Yes.
You think this is a better shoe than we've given it credit for here?
Yes.
This is the Gucci Adidas Gazelle. I love this sneaker.
I love this sneaker. Number
love this
8.
project.
And I told you guys 2 weeks ago, it's one of the sneakers where you're like, you see it and you're like, oh, this is a really cool project. I would never wear it. And then days go on, weeks go on.
Days go by,
And you're just like, is today the
think
day
of you.
that I try to go get I would get the pink one, but I love this project. I think this could have been higher on the list for sure. Who wrote the blurb? Welty, you wrote the blurb.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of these, right?
I am a big fan of these. It's just the price point, like $850, is just a little out of the my allotted budget for buying sneakers. I just at this point I just can't if I could justify it.
Yeah.
Then
also all the apparel that comes, that came out too. All that stuff is so cool to me.
there was the video I think over the weekend of Chris Brown singing "Soul for Real," "Candy Rain" on the Gilly the Kid.
Oh, $1 million worth of game?
Yeah, podcast wearing the Gucci
Right.
Adidas polo shirt.
I missed that. That might ruin it for me.
Really good project. Really good project.
Especially in a world where Adidas just does not have any interesting product coming out right now to me. Like there's so few interesting Adidas sneakers right now.
And I think we need to reference it with like the whole like yin and yang situation where like they just did Adidas Balenciaga, which sucks.
A triple S Adidas sneaker.
And I think the even worse one out of the two.
Oh yeah.
Is
talk about it, King.
So you have the two shoes that came out. I think the triple S is just a bad shoe in general. I know it had its little moment or whatever, but right now nobody needs to be wearing triple S sneakers.
Certainly not.
I do think that at least the colorway, they did an OG Adidas blue.
Okay.
The white and black one is awful.
Yeah.
The blue is at least a little interesting because it references the Adidas box, and I just think that's a nice color.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like the shoe itself, but the Speed Runner, like the knit sock Balenciaga shoe,
The ones that look like socks and the ones of Cardi B.
So bad.
Doesn't need to exist.
But then you have
Adidas Gucci,
which is
other end of the spectrum in terms of
very good.
Yeah. Really cool.
Really good.
Kind of tacky, but in the best possible way. They made tracksuits to go along with it.
I like just that original like monogram. The pink one's great, but the monogram colorway to me is like that's it.
Yeah. Have you held these at all? Do we?
No,
know?
I haven't seen them in person.
I want to know that it feels like a seven. How much is it? $850.
$850.
I want to know for sure that it feels like an $850 sneaker.
It looks like it. So the one detail that on it I think is really cool is so the sole has like the Gucci
monogram print.
Logo like kind of like not embossed but like sticks out wraps around it, which that was probably hard to do because you had to make a new sole mold for the shoe, which I'm not justifying the price on it, but that probably costs some money to manufacture. So I appreciate that. Our good friend Juice told us he had gotten the shoes when they first came out. I think the white pair, but he told us like the shoe runs like a size big. Also used to work at Adidas too. So
all good things to mention. Should we move on to the next sneaker on this list?
Number 7, Nocta, Nike Hot Step Air Terra, one of his favorites.
Oh yeah,
Welty and I are.
This is one of those ones I would say
we're
in
united
black,
in this.
like big JLP shoe.
Black, yeah.
Okay, so you like the shoe?
I like the black, and I like the black and yellow.
The other colorways, other than the white one, are certainly better, but this is still a sneaker that me personally, I don't like at all. And I know that sounds weird when we're talking about the best sneakers of the year list, but one of those ones where everybody else on the panel, I think Welty and I were the ones who didn't like it. Maybe Riley agreed with us, but other people felt like it was growing to be a good shoe, and the successive colorways coming out after the white were better and better, and that there was a big enough moment because it was Drake's first Nike sneaker.
That's the thing where people are like, oh, it should be on the list, and I'm like, as much as I don't care for the shoe, I still understand why people think a Drake Nike original silhouette is like a big deal.
Definitely. So an accomplishment.
That's so I'm just like, you know what? It's like as
much
much as I don't like the shoe, if some people are saying it's good, I'm not gonna like die on the hill of like excluding this.
Right. There's battles you have to pick, right?
Yeah. But with that said, the white colorway, I mean, we all know that looks like a pair of like Fila's or Skechers or K-Swiss, whatever. But other colorways are better, but I still will go on the record saying that black and yellow is just like a cheap color combo. When put on a pair of shoes like that, it looks very much like a shoe that should be in like, it's like a Champ Sports.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Level model. Not that there's anything wrong with Champ Sports, but just that color combo doesn't really like make it, to me, at least me personally,
I'm
doesn't
aligned.
make it look like a premium product.
I'm aligned.
Interesting bit about that shoe though, that I never thought I would see is so on the bottom of it, it has the G Tech
Yeah.
technology. I had bought in a shoe in 2005 at this old Nike outlet store or sporting goods store near my house, George and Phillips in New Hampshire, in Exeter, New Hampshire, where Nike's research factory was. It was just sitting there, it was an old clearance shoe, and it was the Nike Go-A-Tech, and it had that G Tech
Traction pattern, right?
which is inspired by a mountain goat's like hoofs.
Yeah.
Which is a shoe that I loved going up. We can probably put a picture of the Go-A-Techs here. They came in cool colorways. But I would never expect like that to be the reference.
The reference point for this. Does that make you like this sneaker at all?
It
Because
just
it
like
draws on something
piqued
that
my
was,
interest like a little bit,
Yeah.
just because I have a history with that shoe.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't enough.
It doesn't. I didn't have that colorway, but that's
This
one.
colorway is crazy.
I think they made some colorways for Japan
Nice
that were
shoe.
like, yeah, it's a
It's
really
cooler
good shoe.
than the Hot Step Air
That
Terra
shoe is
to
way
me.
cooler than the Drake shoe.
Yeah. So again, there will
That's
be
a big
shoes on
JLP
here
shoe
that
as
we.
well. Yeah.
There's at least one more on here. I think that Welty and I will.
We
both.
also got a text message from a mutual friend, both of us, on a group chat saying, "Really, you put this shoe on the list?"
That's right. And I said, look, look.
I didn't get that
Yeah,
one.
somebody did call us out for that. A friend of both of ours, and I said exactly what I've said on here is that this list is a combination of many different people's opinions and many different factors. So that being said, let's get into another one that I personally don't like.
Go for it.
Number 6, the Travis Scott Air Max 1. Too big to fail?
Too big to fail.
You know what? The pocket knife references are cool.
Yes.
You know, it's like a nice expression of the Travis Scott look on sneakers, the brown and the kind of outdoorsy stuff. But
Yeah.
to do this to an Air Max 1 is not very cool to me. I don't think it's nearly as offensive as the Travis Scott Air Trainer 1, which I think is just straight up bad. And I'm so glad we got that all the way off this list. But other people, other than me, really liked the shoe. And again, felt like a Travis Scott Nike project. Big deal. Put it high on the list.
My take was, and I'd put this out there, maybe I don't know, unexpected. So the Travis Scott 270, I think, is a better shoe than the Travis Scott Air Max 1.
Okay.
270 to me, awful sneaker.
Yeah.
But Travis made a 270 look good, which I think is the point of a collaboration.
Right.
You take the
Interesting.
Air Max 1, which in my opinion, White Red Air Max 1 is at least like top 3 sneakers
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
And you made an Air
OG
Max
colorway.
1 and you made an Air Max 1 look worse. So I'm like,
Question though. Do you give any credence that he did change it a lot or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's worth something here.
Because, like,
and
the
maybe
white and
that's-
red-
if it ain't broke, don't fix
The
it.
white and red Air Max 1 is obviously a classic, and there's classic colorways. But, like, if you look at the shoe, it has, like, the design cues of an Air Max 1, but
Yeah.
it looks totally different.
But there's so many good Air Max 1 collaborations
Yeah.
over the years
Yeah.
that just
Okay.
blow this shoe out of the water.
And they didn't change much.
They didn't change much.
Pata Air Max 1s.
Right, there's a lot. There's a lot. I just think that they went into it wanting to.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that we're in an era now where changing a colorway or changing a set of materials isn't enough, and people have the freedom within a brand to alter a sneaker more. And I guess in that way, the Travis Scott Air Max 1 is a cool product because normally you wouldn't see this happen to an Air Max 1. Personally, for me, don't care for it.
Is it safe to say that you think that the pocket knife reference is cool?
Yeah, I like
But
that.
no. But a pocket knife reference on a Travis Scott sneaker collaboration is almost like unnecessary.
Why?
Where it's like it just feels like a large percentage of people that are going to be buying into
Oh,
the
it just
shoe
goes over
like
their heads. Yeah.
either don't know or like don't really care that
Yeah.
like this old Nike ACG shoe is being referenced.
Yeah,
like
I know what you
it
mean.
didn't bring any fervor to the pocket knife at all, so it didn't
For
really
sure.
like serve the purpose of that being a reference. Like you could have just had the shoe look like this
Yeah.
and not have a pocket knife reference, and I don't think it would have changed anything for anyone who
Yeah.
like bought into it.
And the people who don't know, that's like Welty said, the old ACG shoe, and you can see the little straps up, I guess, kind of near the laces and around the heel, the little pieces. That
But I think that one of the
are those
things
straps? They're not really straps.
one of
I
the
don't
things
know what
around
you
the
would
shoe
call
is
those.
obviously with Travis Scott having to like kind of go away from the public sphere for a while. Obviously his Nike projects
Were on
not coming out,
pause.
where these had like been kind of on the, especially with the Air Trainer one, had kind of been on a back burner.
Yeah, I think some stores got their shipments and had to send them
And
back.
it was kind of
yeah.
almost like we need to go like clear the queue from
Yeah.
like all this stuff lined up. But the Travis Scott Nike stuff for the longest time kind of had just been like what people trying to resell shoes had kind of been waiting
Yeah.
on for somewhat. So with any Travis Nike thing, the fervor around it is, oh, here's another surefire way to make money.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where a lot of pandemonium around this shoe was, rather than people thinking that this was really like one of his top tier product outputs.
Well, we definitely don't think it. Okay, should we move on to the next shoe, number 5 in our best sneakers of the year so far? Is this one that we actually like?
Not my favorite.
How does this always happen when we
Not
go
my
through these
favorite.
lists?
Not my favorite. Just, I guess with these, I like respect. Let's first say what it is. Number 5, Union Air Jordan 2. Just a shoe that I just wouldn't wear. Just
Are you a Jordan 2 guy at all?
No, that's the thing.
I like these. I do like these. I don't know if it's a top 5 shoe of the year, but I have no qualms with this shoe being included on the list.
Okay. Yeah. I am warming up to the Jordan 2. I will totally be that guy to say that I never really cared about Jordan 2s until recently.
That's fair.
And I think that's like okay to say, you know, and I think there's been a lot of cool collaborations. I usually like Union's work. I don't love this one, but I think it's a good expression on the Air Jordan 2. The story wasn't super interesting to me, but, you know, it's kind of funny the way the tags on them, you know, say 2021 and it ended up in 2022. And it's like this weird relic of
I think the tag
supply chain.
The tag to me is
fuckery.
like it is my least favorite part of that shoe.
Okay.
I just don't think it looks great.
Yeah.
I do like the orange colorway on the shoe. I just think it's a nice
looking shoe.
Yeah, I think we referenced it on this. The one moment where I was like, oh, I think this shoe was cool was that whole G-Eazy.
Oh, when the
courtside
Yeezy,
moment.
Yeah, the Yeezy exploded. The
So
Yeezy
what
one
was it?
exploded.
G-Eazy was wearing courtside.
He was wearing the
Yeezys and
Yeezys
he flipped them out for the.
Yeah, and then
the
someone
Union.
just came and you just see the hand
Nice.
with the Union 2s. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they actually looked kind of cool when he put him on his foot in
Yeah.
that situation. So it kind of sold me on the shoe
Yeah.
a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I like him. I think it's a little like disappointing to some extent that I know that the Jordan 2 is like a maligned model historically. You know, it's the shoe that kind of made Michael Jordan want to leave Nike, but some people love it because it has like that whole Italian designer reference. I know
Rich A's favorite.
Does that do anything for you, Joe?
Rich A's favorite
As an
Jordan.
Italian American?
Russ Benson.
Russ Bankston
Yep.
also.
But it's kind of like annoying a little bit that people only hop on the 2 when it's like a hype collaboration attached to it, that it has a hard time standing on its own.
Yeah.
But
Isn't it, you're talking about me? Is that what?
no, I
just said, right?
meant Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just
Yeah. So seems like we like this one okay. And again, I think it's totally fine that the shoes on this list are not ones that we're all super duper excited about.
Definitely.
I mean, we're halfway through the year. You know, sometimes the first half is better
Tough.
than the second half. You know, it's just like not these aren't shoes necessarily that we think each of them is going to be a classic in a couple years
And
time.
brands definitely don't front load the year with
Interesting.
Later, right?
Yeah,
You feel like more good shoes come out in the
I
second
think
half
so.
of the year generally?
I think so.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I never thought
I think sometimes we get to these lists and it's like, man, it's been like an off year, and then it ends. Sometimes,
Banger.
yeah, sometimes
okay.
the lists look totally different in end of December. As
I mean,
than
holiday
they do now.
season's usually
Yeah,
when you'll see a few big releases.
Yeah.
Q4.
All right. Speaking of 4, number 4 on our list, Nike Kobe 6 Proto Mambacita Sweet 16. That's kind of a mouthful of a sneaker.
Yeah.
This is another one that was sitting around and
Very out of all of these,
Yeah.
the longest. I
yeah,
feel
we
like.
didn't know what the fate of it was going to be. The sneaker was already produced, and then Kobe Bryant's Nike deal expired, as first reported by Complex.com.
His wife,
Yeah.
Vanessa
yes.
Bryant.
Yeah.
This was the one that like really got her upset.
Yeah, she had posted about the sneakers and wondering why they were out there when Nike hadn't figured out the Kobe deal yet. To me, this sneaker finally happening and releasing is just like such a cool marker
Definitely.
of those parties finally coming together and there being a legitimate future for Kobe product at Nike, which, you know, they could have done a Kobe Adidas deal, but I don't think people care about the Kobe Adidas nearly as much as they care about, oh, you're saying not at all?
No,
Yeah.
people pretend to, but they really don't.
Yeah, so what it signifies in that regard and it being tied to his late daughter and,
Yes.
you know, clean colorway, I think the Kobe 6 is one of the best Kobe models. I think there's just like a lot of things to like about this shoe.
Definitely. Like, there's so many reasons to like this shoe, and I think number 4 is a good spot for it. Again, I think there's a lot of
Shout out to all the resellers out there who were like trying to like shift this shoe for like insane amounts of money.
Right.
back when they weren't releasing.
When it
Yeah,
was like
when
when
its
they had
status was
like
uncertain.
when they had a stockpile of like unreleased like Kobe shoes, and then the shoe.
God
came
bless
out.
you if you got them off.
Yeah.
Probably not a sneaker that any of us are going to be wearing, but just a cool project.
Yeah, it's a cool
you know?
marker. Like, yeah.
Should we move on then?
Yeah,
I
really
feel like
like
we
that
have
shoe.
less to say about the ones that we actually like than the
Yeah.
ones we don't like.
Yeah.
I actually love this shoe.
Okay.
Great, good job.
Air Jordan 1 High 85 Georgetown. This is our number 3 sneaker of the year. This is probably like a little contradictory because we talk about how like we reward shoes that do something new, and here is very high, a straightforward OG looking colorway of a Jordan 1, you know,
But
but
it never was an OG.
right. Georgetown, you know, the navy colorway. This Jordan 1 85 silhouette, I think, is like a little bit retooled, and the shape is cool. You know, they're Jordan Brand doing more and more to orient the silhouettes toward what they were in their original forms. I think that deserves rewarding. You know, the Jordan 1 thing. Welty, do you want to talk about Jordan 1s in general? Because I feel like that's always a shoe that grinds your gears.
It's like the not if I'm making a list of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
It's not my like greatest shoe of all time.
Sure.
But I think it's pretty easy for a lot of people to make a case that it's the greatest shoe of all time.
The Jordan 1, the Air Jordan 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least it's up there. You know, you have certain shoe, Air Force One, Air Jordan 1.
Yeah, okay.
Stan Smith, Chuck Taylor, like all those shoes are
Yeah,
kind
now
of
I got to
like
think about that.
kind of like the easy go-tos.
Yes,
talking about
most
iconic.
iconic. Yeah.
But the past year or two, where it's just like the Air Jordan 1 was just
You hate the Air Jordan 1 in this era.
just in this pocket of time.
Yes,
I don't
totally.
have any hate or disagreements or
No
dislike.
malice in your heart.
No, towards the Air Jordan 1
Yeah.
historically as a silhouette, but just
Yeah.
what happened to the Air Jordan 1, how it became like the TikTok sneakerhead.
Yeah.
Like I got into shoes like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like
This is what I was waiting for.
It's
I was trying to bait you in. I'm
yeah,
glad
it
we're here.
worked.
It's the go-to shoe.
Yes. Talk
for
about
people who got into shoes 3 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
but when you try to talk to them about anything that happened in sneakers
More than 3 months ago,
they're gonna call you a gatekeeper.
Yes.
There we go.
And it's like you know what? Like when we got into sneaker culture,
Mm-hmm.
we actually were like excited about talking to people who like had been into it a little bit
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
longer.
who knew more than we did.
Yeah, but the
Who
new
could tell us what happened when we weren't around.
yes, and I love that. Like being on Nike Talk back in the day, you'd hear all these stories about like,
Yeah.
wow, this is like what it was like before I got into shoes.
Yeah.
Now
Which
it's
is
just
valuable.
like oh, you don't like the biohack Air Jordan 1s? It's like you're a hater. Get out of here, old head. All right.
All right.
But do you like this Jordan 1?
I think
Georgetown
I
colorway?
think this is a nice shoe.
Super clean.
It's funny you say that because like
I
This
agree
is-
with everything you just said.
this
by the way.
this is a very clean shoe.
100%.
It looks like it's a nice colorway, but I can't get past. I used to wear those Georgetown Terminators in like 2003.
Oh, wow.
all the time, especially because the Finish Line polo was navy, and the Georgetown Terminator was like such a big Finish Line
It
shoe.
was
and
navy. I thought the Finish Line polo is like a royal blue.
manager in training MIT was navy.
Wow.
Yeah. so-
Had to flex.
no, I'm just saying. I don't know. I think yours
Different
might have been
levels?
light blue.
Oh.
No. You didn't work at Finish Line, but yeah, no. MIT when you were about to get a store when you
Yeah,
were
that was your
it
MIT.
Navy, yeah, but I wore the Georgetown Terminator.
How do you like them apples?
Georgetown
Or was he going
Terminators.
to what?
He's going to Harvard.
Harvard at Goodwill Hunting. I'm sorry.
Georgetown Terminator 2003. I used to wear them all the time. This is what the shoe's based off, right? A
I
little bit.
mean, that colorway for sure.
I think it's just that whole era.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a clean shoe,
maybe
but
some people even reference like Allen Iverson, even though that like wasn't like he wasn't even in that era of shoes, but just kind of that whole Georgetown.
Ewing though, right? Didn't Ewing?
Patrick Ewing, yeah.
Can I give you a little nugget real quick? Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of Nike Terminators coming. Nike's going to start coming back with the Terminator retros hard,
Georgetown cover.
starting
color?
at the end of this year.
Well,
I
we
think the
saw
Georgetown
we saw a
color is in the
leak
mix.
this past week or so of there was like the CDG
Yeah.
Terminator collection.
There's a bigger. It's part of a bigger Terminator project that'll be happening.
And I wore Terminators recently.
That's right, the swagger pair.
Lupe Fiasco full size run
Go
episode.
check that out. A lot of
Please.
knowledge. Talk about a lot of past
History.
knowledge. Yeah, I think Jordan 1s, while I really think this is a nice, clean shoe, number 3 is high, you know?
For you personally,
Yeah,
I think this
it's
might be
high.
one of the ones that we look back on and say good shoe, may or may not make the top 10
Okay.
of the list. I don't have an issue with this shoe being.
See, that's one of the things about the shoe is. Sorry to cut you off, but you said you don't have an issue with it. I feel like there's nothing about the shoe that you could be mad at. There's like
That's
it's
right.
like hard
That's
to
a good-
detract from this shoe. Like it
Definitely.
does everything you want this sneaker to do correctly. Like
Definitely.
the shape, a cool colorway that we haven't seen before, but doesn't look super wonky. Kind of makes sense within the historical.
I just don't think it's maybe not important enough
Right.
to really be like maybe where it's at.
Yeah.
And for the record, when we make these lists, we kind of like to say what had came out at a certain time, and they're always like, we made this list like a month ago, so things change a little bit sometimes, and
Right.
we already locked it in.
Right.
So,
Things shift or shoes come out.
Here's what I would ask you guys, and let's make a prediction. This one's number 3 on this list. I think at the end of the year, there's going to be shoes that are lower on this list that make it to the end of
That
the year
bump.
list. I don't think there's going to be on the end of the year
I'll
list.
put it at number 9 right now, just off the top. Of
I
my
don't
head.
think this makes the end of the year list.
Me either.
I think it's a good shoe, and I'm not going to here to hate on it. I just think at the end of the year, you're going to be
It will
like, oh yeah.
reflect, and it won't.
Yep,
be
and
that
I think there's
important.
going to be ones that we already talked about that do
I
make
think
it
maybe
over
with this
Mm-hmm.
one, when it came out, we thought that it was like a pretty good reaction to it, and it was kind of like everywhere at the moment. But now, when that moment, that like Twitter IG moment has passed, it doesn't have as much like
staying power.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, let's move on to the number 2 sneaker of the year so far for 2022. This is another sneaker that I can only say good things about. I feel very confident about this pick. Union Nike Dunk Low. We've
Big
seen
fan.
so many dunks. The dunk thing is getting pretty tired at this point.
Yes.
I think Union did a great job with this. I think that the story on them, I think that referencing the old dunk colorways and the hunt for them and the shiny swoosh, the passport pack, the travel thing.
Great shoes.
Yeah.
Talk about receipts. He has receipts of this story,
Yeah.
especially on the Complex
Chris
Sneakers
Gibbs.
podcast.
Yeah.
Chris
Chris
Gibbs
Gibbs.
and Full Size Run.
Yep.
Literal, maybe not literal receipts, but him telling the story
Yeah.
makes these awesome. And again, I think a shoe that really benefited from when you saw it in person.
Yeah, these look so
great
good in person. Yeah,
They look
the
great.
swoosh, that material on the upper. You
Yeah.
haven't seen that very much on dunks. Like, yeah,
Was lucky to get a pair.
yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Brendan Dunne got a pair as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Everyone else. Was that at a dinner or no?
Yeah, we all had kebabs. But Chris
They just
Gibbs.
the kebabs came out and then the dunks came out. But yeah, I like this shoe. I like
Great
the
shoe.
story
box,
behind it.
the box and the tissue paper inside. It's one of those projects where they looked at every detail and said, how can we make this tell the story of the shoe in terms of traveling and hunting out rare sneakers. Love these.
I'm
Nice
with
shoe.
it.
Love these. These will be on the year-end list. I promise you.
I agree. Number 1. I'll introduce it. You've talked on it. It's good that it's number 1. They're really, you see more and more now in like the field. People are starting to get theirs.
Outside.
Yes. Louis Vuitton Nike Air Force 1 Low. I think that
We did the Sotheby's pair.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you guys picked a specific colorway, not the whole project?
To me, it's the whole project.
Okay.
To me,
Okay.
yeah. We have the Sotheby's pair on here representing it visually in the list, but to me, it's everything around it.
And we see, the white and red ones that people are getting.
Yeah, the retail
The
pairs.
retail
There's
pairs.
9 colorways out there so far.
Just an amazing project.
We had a debate on this because I think we've been on the record saying
You and I.
Yes.
You too?
Dior Jordan 1s, not a fan of that shoe,
Same.
right? And then
Same.
when that shoe came out, we didn't want to make it number 1. And I think one of the reasons we had is
Not
like
accessible.
not accessible. But I think we were kind of grasping at straws a little bit to make it like you don't like it, and then you're trying to find like
A reason to
you're almost
not,
like
yeah.
you're backtracking and trying
You and
to
I didn't really love the Dior Jordan 1, and one of the reasons we kept it from being the top sneaker of the year that year it
get it.
released was because we felt that it being so inaccessible precluded its nomination as a sneaker of the year. And here we are calling the Louis Vuitton Air Force 1
But-
sneaker of the year so far.
to maybe backtrack a little bit more
Yeah,
and
yeah,
come
yeah.
up with more excuses
Please,
Yeah.
please.
for the Louis Vuitton Air Force 1. Even though, Sotheby's pair, you had to have like $100,000 to
Yeah.
try and buy the shoes, whatever.
Yeah,
That
average
was-
auction ending price
that-
was $126,000.
That wasn't going to happen. The friends and family pair, you either had to be like a cohort of
Yeah.
Virgil or someone
OG.
big enough in the space to be deemed
Yeah, by Nike or
Yeah.
by Virgil Friends and Family.
to get the shoes. the retail pairs, which have slowly started to come out. I think there's like the white and blue and white and green and maybe
White and red too.
an all white and all black that have
Yeah.
started to like leak out. Those, for like what we know, you had to be a very high spender at
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton to get picked first
In order to buy the
to
shoes.
get it. And, you know, numbers are maybe somewhere close to $1 million being
Sure.
spent at Louis Vuitton. So, like, with all that said, the shoe was almost impossible for most people to get, right?
Yes.
Unless you were rich
Yes.
or famous or just in the know. But the way that Nike has done this, it's almost like they've brought Virgil's legacy to life through the shoe at the Brooklyn Museum.
Yeah.
They had a whole display where you were
Yeah,
there with
yeah.
all the pairs. They have
And Greenpoint.
They have a statue of Virgil and
Yeah, I feel like they've made ways for the public to enjoy it, even if the public can't actually own the sneakers.
that didn't exist with Dior Jordan 1s.
No, it was like you wouldn't even have ever seen the sneaker unless you knew Robert Pattinson or something, you know? And I think you can still use that as a point against the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones, is that it's like not a sneaker that functionally exists for most people, but I still think the positives of this sneaker, you know, everything, and I feel dumb even talking about it on here because I've talked about it on here so much, and I've written like 4 different pieces about the sneaker, so like I've been super hyperbolic about it everywhere already, but it's just the perfect expression of what Virgil did in shoes, and it, unlike other luxury designer sneaker brand mashups, like has real history, you know, taking it back to Dapper Dan style, Easy Rock, you know.
But it's almost
I've talked about it so much,
Yeah.
you know.
It's almost like, and I don't want to put it this way, but it's almost like if a sneaker had gotten like the cause or like Banksyification of it, where like maybe not everyone has like, you know, a super big like cause figure. I mean, you can buy like smaller things or
Sure,
whatever,
sure.
or like an actual like,
Companion.
or like a, you know, original Banksy piece or whatever. But like there's all these art exhibits where like people can go and experience
Yeah.
them.
It's
and,
like a proxy for owning the shoe or wearing it.
and not having those things doesn't cheapen your experience in going to go see them, where it's like the Louis Vuitton shoe was given that treatment and people
Yes.
have able to experience it and
Yeah.
feel like they kind of
Yes.
had a connection to it.
No, I think that's a good point, and I think that means something. Even though I'm still upset that I didn't.
Yeah.
I
How's the
really
journey
thought,
going with that?
I really thought
And
I was
if-
going to will myself to own a pair, but I
And if those
did not come
green
close.
Brooklyn Museum Air Force Ones come out,
Yeah. Or we can't officially call them the Brooklyn Museum Air Force Ones
Okay,
yet because we
sorry.
don't know if they're officially coming out of the
okay,
Brooklyn Museum.
but if they do, and
Yeah.
if they are, they're the like slime green
yeah.
looking pair. If those do come out, those maybe make the top 10.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think those aren't that interesting because it's that thing where you have the equation already. You know,
Yeah.
they did it for MoMA, MCA, the Boston Museum, and you just bring another colorway.
But posthumously,
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Maybe.
It's cool.
and I also think too, and not to like to talk in like things that are gonna fill the void, when that Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 low comes out,
Yeah.
it's gonna knock the Air
It's a
Max.
good-
I hope it knocks that Air Max
It's a
1
good
off
shoe.
the
Yeah,
list.
those I love those. Yeah, reverse. What are we
Let's-
calling that? Reverse mocha, unmocha. Yeah, those
Really clean.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe the best Travis Scott.
Before
sneaker
we
so
go,
far.
it doesn't have to be number 1, doesn't have to be top 10. Let's give one of each that we would have put on this list that,
is not on here.
yeah.
Oh boy. Like from our personal
Yeah.
picks, did we have this already? Did somebody? I mean, okay, I'm gonna go totally personal with it.
Me too, I'm going
And
with,
I've mentioned the sneaker before, but that sea salt New Balance.
Oh, you love that one.
Yeah, the white leather New Balance 990 V3.
The V3, there's also, and I know you
V3,
don't like,
yeah.
but there's a V2 as well in the sea salt that I think
I don't
that's
need that. You're right that I don't like it, but the New Balance 990 V3 sea salt white leather.
anyone guess mine?
Oh yes, CDG Thunder Max.
No.
Okay.
No. Close. Not close, but that's a good one.
Can we get it? Can we get
Arthur
it?
Carr Solomon's.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I like
Wore them all-
those.
Solomon
Wore them
boys
all
are
weekend,
activated.
like both colorways.
Yeah.
ACS Pro, L'Art de l'Automobile. Love the colorways. That'd be on my list, I think.
Great shoe. I like the green orange pair. Armenian design shoe. Very important to reference.
We need Arthur on the
Yes.
Who
podcast.
does that? Which
Arthur Carr.
Arthur Carr's Armenian?
Yes.
We need Arthur Carr on the podcast. When
I
he
had no
comes to New
idea.
York.
Yeah.
He's like Armenian Lebanese. Isn't he a
I
Lebanese guy?
believe he is Barskahai, which means his family's from Iran.
He killed
believe
those.
so.
And the apparel.
Wow, this is
and
getting
the
deep.
apparel.
I believe so.
heavy
I'm
metal.
not 100% sure, but I've talked to friends, and I'm pretty sure.
So then that puts him high on your list.
I
automatically.
forget what his last name is, but Carr is short for something else.
Carmenian.
Something like that.
You
But I like
Sorry.
those. I like those. A few other shoes. I like the Union Cortez in the tan colorway.
Okay.
Like personal favorite.
Okay.
I think, does the Tom Sachs make the end of the year list, do you think?
The GPS shoe.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
I mean, you already heard my thoughts on that at the top of this. It does. I don't like it. So
All right.
I think it's, I don't know. I like these. I like the highs and lows A6 1130s. I like the Arthur Carr Solomons.
you said pick one, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Those are
Give us
just
a
like
top 10 real quick.
those are the shoes.
We only have time for one.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
Those are the
no.
shoes
Boy.
those are like a handful of shoes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's, I know I mentioned the Union Cortez, and I don't know if that makes the list or not, but has there anything that's come out recently as well that like got cut off?
Oh, that came out right after.
Yeah, they got
we
cut
published
off
this
by-
list that would have been included on it.
Yeah. Something that you're like, oh, you know what? I
I
would
don't
have.
think so, right? I mean, the Solomons came out after. Came out last week.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think there was some stuff that was right on the cusp that maybe we skipped.
I think there was also like maybe a little, not argument, but like maybe people were trying to talk about put the mischief shoe on. No.
Oh, really? As a top 10?
Other of our coworkers, and you promptly shut that one down as well,
That's the one that.
expressing your full veto power.
Oh, another shoe too that I don't think is a top 10, but I actually really like.
Save it for another podcast as the top 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
cut it off right here. No.
Hello Kitty Prestos.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think that was a fun shoe this year.
Yeah, I'm glad those came back.
All right. Thanks for that.
We can't talk about actual sneakers.
You
No,
can.
we can.
That's actually a good
no,
one.
No.
All right, everybody. This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Great to be back with the guys in studio. We will see everyone next week.